Hey Internet, it's Boyd, and... Will you put the Pokemon away?
It was Bulbasaur.
Bulbasaur? I could understand if it was a Snorlax or a Magmar, but for crying out loud.
I haven't seen either of those. Hi, I'm Matt. We're going to talk about a movie today.
Yes. We're going to watch John Wick. Oh, whoop, wrong badass movie. We're going to watch the female John Wick.
Yes. Before John Wick was John Wick. But I actually, if we had time, I wouldn't mind doing a double feature.
I got time.
These movies. I don't, unfortunately. But I love both of these movies so very much.
They are very good. But unfortunately, unlike John Wick, this does not have the following that John Wick has.
No, unfortunately not. Let me double check the filmmaker's name. I don't have Pokemon Go up now.
You know, it's like right here on the back.
Oh, well, I wanted to make sure I got it right. Because I believe it's Soderbergh. Yeah, Soderbergh.
Gina Carano, I believe. It's one of the words I see.
Gina Carano. Yeah, it's a Gina Carano, Steven Soderbergh film.
What else has Soderbergh done?
Oh, he's done a lot of stuff.
I'm not good with names. I mean, I've heard the name before, and I'm sure I've seen many of his other movies.
You have. I'm pretty sure you have. He did a lot of body horror. See, I keep getting my filmmakers confused. Soderbergh, unless I'm mistaken, Soderbergh's the one that did The Fly.
Cronenberg.
Thank you. See, I get
David
my birds
Cronenberg, yes.
mixed up. Okay, so no. Soderbergh did Ocean's 11.
That I like.
Yeah,
he's done the remake one, I assume, right?
Yeah, he did the remake. He did Traffic.
Traffic. Oh wait, is that the one with
it was a big Oscar movie.
From...
Everyone was in it. Benicio del Toro.
Yeah, I did see that. I saw that in the film class.
He was a very young actor.
I was bored to death.
Yeah, it was one of those kind of movies. He did Magic Mike,
really?
Contagion. Mm-hmm.
I didn't see either of those.
The Informant, which was...
I actually have that. I haven't watched it yet, though.
Oh, The Informant's good. We'll have to do that one. But yeah, Soderbergh's done a lot of great stuff. He, at some point, apparently just got bored with filmmaking and Hollywood filmmaking. So he started doing, like, really weird stuff in his movies, or just going kind of out of his way. Like, he did the movie called The Girlfriend Experience.
That's the one with the porn star,
yes.
Sasha Grey.
Yeah, where he hired...
Which I didn't know that.
He hired a porn star to be the main character. In Haywire here, he got Gina Carano, an MMA fighter.
I'm a big fan of hers. Not because I'm a big MMA person.
No, but, I became interested in Gina Carano after seeing this movie and go, wow, she kicks all the asses and actually looks like she can kick all the asses.
Yeah, I want to talk about her. But I want to wait for after we watch the movie.
Yeah.
I've seen this one already. I actually saw this in theater.
I didn't have that pleasure.
I actually got drugged to it.
Oh, really?
I was like, I don't want that look. I saw it because I saw the trailer, and honestly, the trailer did not entice me.
No, they didn't. They didn't sell it well.
And a friend of mine dragged me to see it. And I was like really glad he did because it was really good.
Yeah, I've had a similar experience. I was 19, I want to say, and Kyle drugged me to see Speed Racer. And
I love Speed Racer.
Speed Racer, I was like, oh, it's the movie of the anime, and that's going to be crap because they made a movie.
I actually went and saw it twice in the theater.
I freaking loved it.
I will say, though, when Speed Racer gets slow, it gets so slow.
When I got it on Blu-ray, I was like, oh my god, the colors, my eyes are bleeding.
That is one I wouldn't mind having, the 4K TV for.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, man.
But anyway, Haywire. Haywire is it's very good, solid action.
I get the feeling this is going to be one of those where we don't have a lot to talk about.
I don't know. We could talk about Gina Carano for a while.
We can, yeah. So why don't we go ahead and get to it?
Yeah.
And we'll be back in a sec.
Mm-hmm. Well, more than a sec. Well, a sec for you, maybe. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm pausing.
Actually, it depends on how long the trailer is. Because I watched the trailer between.
That's true.
Probably a minute.
Maybe a minute. Sometimes 3 minutes.
He said to come pick you up. You're really starting to cut into my vacation time, so can we go, please? You're really not getting in the car, are you?
I don't think so.
She is our nation's most valuable weapon.
You got a car? That's why they trained her.
Negotiations broke down. We just need somebody to go and get the guy.
Wow, that's actually real?
Oh, yeah.
That's why they trusted her.
I have an assignment. It's like a paid holiday.
Diplomatic plates. There is an emergency, slap them on.
You want me to be eye candy?
You guys would be like the perfect couple.
So why did they betray her?
Paul? Is the divorce final? Paul, you there? Mallory.
And the Barcelona deal went down. I fix it.
You can tell me right now why you sold me out, or you can tell me when I have my hands around your throat.
You should be in her father's living room telling him that his daughter killed a man in cold blood.
Keep your eyes open.
I haven't shut my eyes since you were born.
This January,
Keep your head down.
finding the truth
Should I be nervous?
I'll let you know.
What do you know about her?
She was a Marine. She does something. There must be a reason for it.
will be her most dangerous mission.
She is a public threat.
What did you do?
I did what I was contracted to do.
But isn't there someone you should be calling to bring help?
Haywire.
You better run.
And we're back.
Yes.
And that was Haywire.
Haywire. There's kind of an interesting comparison there, because they're similar-ish in that this one thing happens that sends the badass off on a killing spree. I'm always fond of that kind of story. You shouldn't have fucked with this person kind of story.
Yeah.
John Wick, I would say, is a flashier movie. It
is.
That and its world building probably are two reasons why it got more attention than Haywire.
It did. They both do have kind of a similar parallel though, whereas they were theatrical movies.
Yeah.
Kind of really flew under the radar.
Yeah.
And then kind of built a little bit of a cult status after the fact. John Wick way more than Haywire.
Yeah.
Though. In fact, other than you, I'm not sure really anybody else that's ever even heard of the movie.
Oh, it's so good.
It is. It's really good.
Haywire is very where John Wick is kind of flashy. Haywire is a very lean movie. It doesn't go out of its way to impress you with its visuals and its style and its world building. It's just she's in the scene, she's kicking people in the face. Here's some shots to make that look cool. I really like this movie. I like Soderbergh as a director. He's a very interesting director. He gets the basics of film language with his own kind of with his own kind of style. It's not hyper stylized like something that Wes Anderson would do.
Right.
But it's very much, I don't know, his shots feel, I don't really see anybody else doing shots the way he does. There's that one scene where toward the beginning of the movie, where Mallory, Gina Carano's character, and Kenneth, which is Ewan McGregor's character, they're talking about the job she's going to go do in Barcelona, thank you. And there's the bookshelf. She's unpacking from the job she just did.
Oh, that was Barcelona. She's going.
Okay, going to Dublin. Okay, but so the camera's at this top shelf. Mm-hmm. And she's putting stuff on the top shelf, and their conversation continues, and then it goes down to the bottom shelf, and she starts putting stuff down on there. And then it goes down to the very bottom shelf, but it's keeping them both in frame. And it's, I haven't gotten out the pen and paper and watched the scene over and over again 100 times, so I'm not going to give a really great shot or scene analysis of it. But just that kind of thing right there, it shows kind of visual flair.
Yeah, he definitely has his own style. We talked about this while we were watching it.
Yeah.
To me, the points of a Soderbergh film is music.
Oh yes.
And
good
color. Like lots, like this movie and Ocean's 11. There's a lot of, I want to use the word saturation. Of color.
He does the saturation thing. Another great director that did saturation, like color hues and whatnot over the image, was Tony Scott. The early part of Tony Scott. He would go overboard on it because that was his thing. That was his style. Like Man on Fire is mostly yellow. Damn good movie.
That's the Denzel Washington one.
But Soderbergh does it to a slightly, I guess, more subtle degree than Tony Scott. But he likes to do it because this is a story that's told way out of sequence because it's a spy story.
Yes.
A spy story told in sequence is not interesting because it'd be very much they did this and then this and then this and then this.
And it's kind of a James Bond movie.
Yeah, pretty much. Well, James Bond movie makes it interesting with all James Bond flair.
But yeah.
With all the stuff that comes with being a James Bond movie.
But it's not. But that's definitely not a staple. So.
But he's using, in this movie in particular, he's basically using like color temperature to tell you where the scenes are happening in like the story's timeline, essentially. And it's a really good way to do it too, because it could put a timestamp. A lesser director would just put a timestamp there. You know, Saturday, 8 p.m. and then the next shot would be Thursday, 4 p.m. And then they would just kind of cut around like that. But no, he uses the different shades of color in the scene. I like it.
Yeah, yeah, I agree. not much to add to that.
I like that his style. He and David Fincher are two directors that I often put together in terms of their visual styles because they do really great shots and their grasp of film language is wonderful, but they don't necessarily call attention to it.
Right.
It's like your Wes Andersons and whatnot. They want because that's their style. They want you to notice their shots.
Yeah,
they want you to notice when they move the camera.
From an artistic standpoint, they are at a much more extreme.
Yeah.
Where Soderbergh, he's more subtle.
Yeah, Soderbergh and Fincher are more, I guess, efficient would be a good term.
Yeah.
But
I would say efficient.
Well, I don't mean that in sort of like the cold robotic sense, but just there is more of a subtlety to it. But it's so good. And Gina Carano in this movie. I know you want to talk about Gina Carano. She's really good.
I would be Wonder Woman.
Yeah. Well, you see, there's a line in this movie. Apparently, Soderbergh wants her to be Wonder Woman as well. When she's telling these cops who she is and not to trust the people that they're going to take her to, he's like, "Pipe down, Wonder Woman." It's like, see, he wanted it too.
Should we talk about the plot? Because, like, it kind of gives it away. There is, it's one of those movies where, much like Ocean's 11, which I'm going to probably reference that one a lot, or in comparison, I should say, since it is another Soderbergh movie.
Mm-hmm.
To talk about the plot is going to kind of give away the twist, or the reveal. Not really so much a twist.
I would also say like the story behind the scenes, like the who's and the whys, isn't near as it is interesting, but isn't near as interesting as just watching the scenes play out in the way they are arranged. I really like that. Just the sequence of this movie. It's a really good disorganized story.
Yeah, because this is probably the fourth time I've seen this movie. Every time, I know I've seen the movies. Yeah. Every time I forget and I get confused halfway through the movie. And you're supposed to be. You're supposed to get confused.
Yeah. Well, because a good storyteller is going to get you into the story, no matter whether it's been spoiled for you or if you've just seen it before. You'll get into the story and get lost in it anyway. And I think this movie does a good job.
Right. Let's talk about the cast. I mean, other than for a movie, I mean, there are so many big name actors in this movie. You got Ewan McGregor.
No, I was just going to say, this is look who it is movie.
Yeah, you got Ewan McGregor, you got Channing Tatum, you've got Antonio Banderas,
Michael Fassbender,
Michael Douglas,
Bill Paxton.
Bill Paxton
shows up. You're like, oh, it's Bill Paxton.
And then, but none of them are the main character.
Mm-hmm.
You got this relatively unknown MMA fighter, Gina Carrera, who I think does a great job.
Oh yeah. She's got a very good face.
You were saying she's very emotive.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she's a very emotive face. Just in every scene, you kind of know what's on her mind, more or less, just by looking at her face. That's good.
And the fight scenes in this.
Good God.
Like they're not like over the top big budget. You can definitely tell like she brought her MMA experience into this. I remember the first time I saw this in the theaters. When I was leaving, I was like, I felt like I just watched an Arkham game, a Batman Arkham game.
Oh yeah, well because we talk about Soderbergh's music. He cuts the music during the fight scenes because pretty much every fight scene was musicless. The only music you heard was, and just like the way that they film the fight scene, because there's a lot of like fight scenes in editing where they'll edit on the hit. So the hit will come in to the target, and then they'll edit right here. And that's where they cut to the new angle.
Right.
So you don't actually see the hit happen. You see the before and then the after. But in this movie, I saw a couple of those edits, but for the most part, you see the hits in frame because he likes his Soderbergh likes his long takes. I like Soderbergh's long takes. But the fight scenes where she's just kicking Michael Fassbender in the face.
And this was really before Fassbender got a big name by him and Channing Tatum both. Which is kind of funny. Like he kind of surprised you because you hadn't seen this in a while. When Channing Tatum shows up. And,
yeah, I was like, oh my god, I forgot Channing Tatum was in this. Oh man, and we had an appearance from our main character from Gentlemen Broncos.
Yeah.
I was just watching this. She meets this kid like beginning, middle, toward the end of the movie.
Mr. Exposition, really.
Yeah, basically, this is the. What I love that though because we have our exposition character, our point of view character.
Yeah.
He's barely in the movie, and she doesn't really tell him. I love that, but no, he's that kid is the. Oh, it took me forever to recognize him, but the main character of Gentlemen Broncos, and we won't say anything more about that. But no, I really enjoy watching this movie. I want to see Gina Carano play a superhero, just one of them.
She played a mutant in Deadpool.
I still need to see that. I do, but I wanted to also want her to play Wonder Woman.
Yeah.
After I saw this movie, I'm like, if they do a Wonder Woman movie, you should have her be Wonder Woman.
And
maybe have Soderbergh.
They didn't listen to us. They got
I know,
Gal
right?
Gadot, which not the worst choice they could make. She was the best part of that movie that I don't like to talk about.
Oh, you mean Batman versus Superman, Dawn of Justice?
Yes, man, that one.
No,
That's the movie.
I can barely get through the title of that movie without laughing because it's so bad.
But
anyway, one reason why Gina Carano works so well in this movie is she actually looks like she's got the physique of somebody who kicks people's asses.
Because she does.
But and it's just this again. Those fight scenes are just brutal.
Yeah. I mean, I was looking up a little bit of trivia on it. Like when she fights Michael Fassbender, apparently, like in the first take, she actually there's a scene where like she picks up a vase and she hits him in the head. She really hit him in the head with the vase, and she thought she's like, oh, I'm gonna get fired. And Fassbender's like, that was perfect. Let's do it again. Apparently, he's crazy.
Oh yeah. Well, you see the kind of roles he takes. Yeah, he's a crazy person. The good kind of crazy actor, not the Mel Gibson kind of crazy actor.
Okay, it just occurred to me. This movie has Michael Fassbender, Gina Carano, and Channing Tatum. Gina Carano was in Deadpool as a mutant.
Yeah.
Michael Fassbender is Magneto.
Yeah.
And Channing Tatum we've been threatened with him as Gambit for many years now.
Okay, so this is officially X-Men canon.
Maybe Michael Douglas was in Ant-Man. He was, but technically not the same universe.
He was
but still
Ant-Man.
a Marvel property. Antonio Banderas was
Oh,
Zorro.
and Ewan McGregor was a Jedi.
He was a Jedi. Yeah, but
And he
owned by Marvel.
And,
Owned by Marvel.
And he
Okay.
stared at goats.
That fucking goat movie, man.
I love it. It's so good.
I was watching something the other day, and the trailer for that was at the beginning of it.
Mm-hmm.
Was it Broncos? Was that the beginning of Broncos?
I think so, yeah.
And I had completely forgotten about that movie.
Mm-hmm.
And then I remember, like, I rented that movie, and I watched it, and I have no memory of it.
I
only have the memory of renting it.
Yeah. I have a copy of it. It's a movie I don't think about a lot, but when it pops into my head, I go, I love that movie. So we might have to do an episode on that. But if we go back to the fight scenes for a minute, just the choreography is great.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm pretty sure she had a hand in it because she's bounced around everywhere.
She did. I'd be very surprised.
Yeah. We could look that up, but we're not.
Yeah. I did remember she trained with some actual military people to parts of the movie.
Yeah, because she's supposed to be ex-military.
Yeah, Marines.
I guess the alternate subtitle is how Mallory Kane got her government job back. Oh man,
she never actually technically worked for the government, so it wouldn't be back.
Well, that's what they talk about toward the end. Her and Michael Douglas just come to work for me again.
Right, but
we didn't
you
actually
said
see that.
Back.
Yeah, that's true. What? She was in the military? That's a government job.
Okay, all right, I retract it.
That's But the supporting cast in this movie is all huge names, and I guess that was the idea: get these huge names to support this. Well, she's not really a newbie because she has been a newbie in film. But
other than her, though, no one is in this movie for a very long time. Though I just thought of that. Michael Douglas, he's in the movie 10 minutes?
Yeah.
10, 15 minutes, and most of the time he's behind the desk.
Yeah, the longest person in the movie, other than her, is Ewan McGregor.
Yeah. Ewan McGregor, Channing Tatum. Yeah, let's see. No, even Channing Tatum doesn't movie that much.
Mm-hmm. There's just
not even a very long movie though. Is it?
It's not. It's like 90 minutes. I want to say. But it is a well-paced movie.
93 minutes.
Yeah. So this is
taking into
some there's
credits and
credits and whatnot. So this is very, very to the point.
Which movie. I miss that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm honestly a little tired of these bloated.
Yeah, I love a long movie. Don't get me wrong.
When it's called for.
Yeah, generally your movies of a grander scope, like your Marvel movies.
You couldn't do the Lord of the Rings movies.
Yeah,
you couldn't do those.
Yeah, you can't do those in
9 minutes. The Dark Knight could have had a 30 minutes cut from it.
Probably.
Which we still haven't watched.
We'll get there.
The looming threat of...
I think John Wick is 101 minutes as well, so that's
it's a little over. It's an hour and 40 minutes, basically.
Yeah.
Again...
Credits. So it's still pretty close to 90 minutes. But I really like, just with action movies in particular, action movies and comedies, you really want to hit 90 minutes. Maybe an hour and 45.
Yeah.
Maybe. But I like that pacing. Because this is a well-paced movie. Because it doesn't even feel 90 minutes.
Yeah, it's over before you know it.
Mm-hmm.
That's good.
But one thing Soderbergh gets a lot of really good work out of in Haywire is things moving into frame. And when Ewan McGregor's on the beach, just staring off into space, and just from behind him, seemingly out of nowhere, Gina Carano just charges at him, decks it from behind, and it's great. She just tackles him and beats the living crap out of him. And then he gets his foot stuck in a rock somehow. That was I don't know how that happened, but I rolled with it. Yeah. But I don't know. I guess it's the way he fell and maybe broke that ankle. There was a bone crunch sound.
Yeah, he couldn't get it out. Yeah, he was
stuck there. There is still the question: how But no, she left him to drown because time was coming. That's horrifying. But no, that shot with her running up behind him just with murder in her eyes. That's great. Oh man. But no, I like the long takes. I like Gina Carano kicking people in the face.
No, this is definitely a watch.
Oh yeah, absolutely. This is you have to own it, and I'm offended at myself that I don't actually have a copy of this yet. I saw it on Netflix.
It was on Netflix for a while. I don't know if it still is or not.
I haven't checked. I should.
I don't need to check. I own it.
I need to get it. If they don't have it at Second and Charles, then
this was actually one of those movies. Like when it came out, I said to myself, like, I want to buy this.
Yeah.
But I know how this movie did. This is going to go down in price quickly.
Yeah.
So like every time I was going into Walmart or Best Buy, I was checking the price on it. It's like, nope, still $20. I'm not going to buy it.
Yeah, this is.
And this one stayed at $20 for like a really long. Like I get the feeling like
it did well in DVD sales. As
did
far
it?
as I know. As far as I know, but I could be very wrong.
I just kind of got the feeling that like the higher up people were like, we didn't make a lot of money at this in the theater. We need to get our money back in DVDs. Don't put it on sale for a while.
That is probably the case. But man, this movie deserved to do so much better.
Yeah, please.
I mean, you find this in the $5 bin, and you're like, come on, this movie's good. You don't deserve to be here, Haywire.
If you like John Wick, and if you don't, I don't know why you're listening to us.
Probably don't like Drive either, jerk.
Speaking of Drive, we need. I'm going off topic here. I keep wanting to call it the sequel. The movie the guy did after Drive, Only God Forgives. Have you seen it?
I haven't. Is it good?
I haven't seen it either.
Oh, okay.
And I really want to see it.
I do too.
So that needs to be something we watch.
Sure. I also want to see Neon Demon because that has been getting some
Is that by the Drive guy?
Yeah,
Oh,
same director.
Yeah. I wasn't sure how the trailer made me feel weird, so I wasn't sure.
I've been hearing it is batshit crazy.
Is he becoming one of those weird, like directors where he just gets weirder and weirder?
He is, as far as I can tell, Nicholas Winding Refn has been one of those who's always been kind of out there. His movies are very, very style over substance, but his style is so thick that it kind of has its own substance. Kind of. That's at least how I describe it.
Drive was good.
Oh, Drive is such a good movie. I think we've brought it up in every single episode.
You bring it up in every episode. I know you want every movie to be Drive, but not every movie can be Drive.
I do.
If every movie is Drive, then no movies are Drive.
But then the movies that are actually Drive, when all the movies are Drive, are just really, really Drive.
We can't live in this Drive world that you want to live in.
But I want to
Drive.
But no, we totally should watch Only God Forgives.
Yeah, I don't have it though. We gotta find we're gonna have to pick it up somewhere.
It might be.
I might have to. It might be. I might have to resubscribe to the DVD service.
Oh goodness, I forgot Netflix had a DVD. I forgot they.
I had it for a long time.
I did too, but I forgot because I've had streaming. Oh goodness.
I mean, I had both for a long time because there was I mean, there's some. But then I would keep the movies for like 3 months, and then I was like, I really just need to stop.
This isn't worth it anymore. Oh man. But this movie, Haywire, is really good. A really solid action movie. A good spy thriller too. And everybody turns in a great performance. I think there's good performances all around. There's it was on IMDb trivia, so I don't know how many salt lines we're supposed to take it with. But apparently Soderbergh did stuff to her voice, like digitally, Gina Carano's voice.
There were 2 different things. One said that they deepened it, which I can't imagine her voice being high.
No.
She does not look like someone who would have a high voice. And the other one said she was completely dubbed over by another actress, which I don't think so.
No, and you can usually tell when that happens. Even good dubbing, you can tell.
That, and I've seen her in other movies, and her voice sounded pretty much the same, which is why I was even surprised that it was deepened. So I don't think that was true.
Yeah, I'm not sure what the case with that is. I know there were a couple reviewers when it came out because I was interested in this movie when it came came out. I just didn't get a chance to see it.
Mm-hmm.
I think Film Brain brought it up in his review of the movie. He's a British guy.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, okay.
But brought up what? Like,
the voice thing.
Oh, okay.
But I don't know. Her voice sounded great. She did looks with her face that were awesome. Like, she has a very expressive face.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But yeah, definitely watch this movie. And you're a bad person if you don't.
Stop insulting the audience.
But if they haven't seen this movie, they're a bad person.
Look, we got 4 people that I'm pretty sure watch us regularly. We really need to start advertising ourselves or something.
Oh, goodness. I'm thinking about being sponsored by Ketchup.
I'm hoping to be sponsored by a surf punk band called the Kaiju.
Oh man. Do you got anything else on Haywire?
Not really.
Yeah.
I mean, like I said before, I knew it was gonna be one of those where I don't have much to say because when you like a movie,
if I sat down and watched it just over and over again, back to back until I hated it, I could probably do a pretty solid shot analysis of it.
Yeah, I mean, we could be one of those fancy reviewers that does that kind of stuff.
I don't have the time for that.
I don't have the patience or the film or the knowledge. I went to 2 film classes in college. One I failed.
I took a few. One of them was actually called Writing About Film. It was a writing class about film. It was great.
Well, when I took this first class, and now begins the off-topic portion of our video. When I took the first film class,
now that begins.
I think it may just be what I start calling our video series, Red Destiny Art off-topic. Haywire, which I did with one of them. I forget which one it was, but anyway.
And it was one that we stayed mostly on topic on.
No, it wasn't, because that's why I named it that. Anyway,
film class.
Anyway, I went to this film class. It was not a good film class. It was the only film class they offered at the time.
Yeah.
And I went in because I like movies, you know. I thought this would be a fun class, and he starts off with editing.
Mm-hmm.
And I think this class only met once a week.
Mm-hmm.
It was Tuesday night, so it was the only night classes I ever had. He starts off with editing, and he shows us Batman, 1989 Tim Burton's Batman.
Not even a good choice for editing, but why start with editing? The very first thing a film student needs to learn is what a shot is.
Well, we weren't there was no film class major at this school.
Okay.
This was just I think this was honestly just supposed to be a gimme class in a way.
Okay.
Just, hey, here's a fun class.
We had one of those. I didn't get to take that
one. But don't tell them where we live.
I don't live in Montevallo. This isn't even Montevallo.
But smart people can.
Anyway.
But anyway, Batman was editing. He showed us this movie. I forget he showed us a movie just because he said it was one of his favorite movies. Mm-hmm. It was Less Than Zero with Robert Downey Jr. Fucking hate that movie. Yeah. That is a terrible movie. Okay, you know what? I'm being too harsh. It's probably a very well made movie.
Yeah.
But don't watch it unless you want to feel bad. It is
one of those.
It's a horribly depressing movie. There's a scene where Robert Downey Jr. has to suck dick for meth or some sort of drug. He doesn't have to. Actually, he's forced into doing it. And then he dies. Spoilers.
Yeah, don't watch the off topic from the off topic. Don't watch The Grifters for the exact same reason. You will feel bad. Early John Cusack movie.
Okay. Or The Wrestler.
Yeah.
Never should have named movies that made us sad.
Oh goodness!
Every Pixar film.
But those are good.
Those are good. And The Wrestler is an amazing film too. I don't regret watching that one, but I was bummed for a week.
Yeah.
Anyway, back to the film class. The moment I realized though that this was not a good film class was when we did our week on westerns, and he showed us the Three Amigos. Yeah. And he wouldn't show certain movies because girls in the class would get like scared. Like we were talking about watching like a certain horror movie because it was House of a Thousand Corpses. That movie had just come out, and I think I had suggested us we watch that one for editing or cinematography or something.
Mm-hmm.
And like 2 or 3 girls were like, "Oh no, I can't watch that. It's scary." I was like, "Well, one, then you don't need to go to a fucking film class. You don't need to take a fucking film class because that's part of it."
Yeah.
And 2, I didn't actually have a second part.
Okay.
I don't know why I numbered it.
I didn't have a second thing.
But okay, but that I didn't learn anything in that class.
Yeah.
And that's probably the main reason I failed the class.
Okay. First film class I took was it was the writing class. And it was like, how do you write about film? And the very first thing, the very first book on the book list was a book called Writing About Film. It was very on the nose, but no. And the first chapter is what is a shot, and that's where you start in a film class, because that's basically your basic unit in film. But just I guess to bring it back to Haywire a little bit is just I like the use of just basic film language stuff that's really good in this movie. It's like if you want to show someone hiding something, cover half their face in a shadow. That when we find out that Kenneth has sold out, has sold out Mallory, his face is half covered in shadow, and we can only see one of his eyes. And that eye gets really big when he realizes when he realizes that she knows he sold her out.
That's a really good shot.
Mm-hmm.
I really like that one.
And there's like during that running scene, there were a lot of shots with the camera over her head. You are being watched. Just basic stuff like that I like seeing. That just so few filmmakers do. But yeah, I like this film. I took a couple other film classes as well. David Lynch, which I don't recommend a lot of that, and Stanley Kubrick, which I recommend most of it.
Both of those directors I've seen very little of.
Mm-hmm.
Lynch, I think other than Twin Peaks.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what I've seen. No, I saw Blue Velvet in the other film class I took.
Yeah, Blue Velvet,
which is
a good movie.
I didn't like it at the time, but I was a very different person then.
Yeah.
I hadn't taken fancy film classes. I took one and failed it. This one though, I want to talk about this one though because I greatly enjoyed this other film class more.
Okay.
And I took it mainly because it was a film class. But 2, it met one of my art history requirements. And my major, I had to take 5 art history classes, which even for an art major is the boringest thing. One of the boringest things I've ever had to do. Because I don't like to write.
Yeah.
And like all those art history tests are like write 50 compositional whatevers about all these certain pieces of art.
Oh, just give me an essay.
And a couple of essays.
I can do essays.
So I take this other film class, and I knew right away that like the teacher knew what she was doing because the very first movie we watched, she flat out tells us, "I don't like this movie, but you need to see it if you haven't," and that was Citizen Kane.
Oh yeah.
Which have you seen Citizen Kane?
I actually still haven't seen Citizen Kane.
It's while I wouldn't say it's on my top 10 list of movies, she's absolutely right.
Yeah,
any fan of cinema needs to see it. Because Orson Welles, in many ways, defined and created a lot of the cinematography
with his first film.
Things we do nowadays.
It's his first film.
Like early on in the movie, the main character who is played by Orson Welles, the camera. It's been a while since I've seen it, so I may have this backwards. It's either the camera is down looking up, or it's high looking down. And I think I want to say it's down looking up.
I think he's imposing over the camera. I've seen like bits and pieces.
Right.
You can't.
It's to show his importance.
Yeah,
like, to
I think
convey
the camera was looking up at him.
And then as the movie goes on, and his character becomes less and less relevant to the world he's in, and whatnot, the camera is looking down on him, making him look smaller and less important. And then she showed us some movies I hated too. I can't remember the name of this movie she showed us, but I remember it starred Bilbo Baggins, not the new one.
Oh,
the one from the original Lord of the Rings trilogy.
That's
not
Ian something.
I can never remember that guy's name. But the whole movie, the movie centers around a school bus that like runs off an icy road and like into a lake, and a bunch of kids die. And Bilbo plays a lawyer who has come basically to sue the school, I think, and get money for the families that lost children and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
And it's beautifully shot. I'm not going to say it's a bad movie. I just didn't care for it. But it's another kind of one of those downer movies.
Yeah.
I remember there's a scene where he goes into this one house, and it's more of a new age hippie couple, but they lost their son. And like the way the camera is placed is you see like the living room and the attic and like the upper area, like not the attic, I almost said attic, but it's like a second floor that's not not closed off, and like the wife is meeting him and bringing him into the house, and the father is up in that upper area, and I think that's where the kid slept, and he's like smelling the kid's shirt. It had a lot of little subtle things like that. But one of the main reasons I didn't like this movie, and I didn't think it did very well, I really wish I could remember the name of it, was there's a subplot where one of the girls who was in the bus, she's paralyzed. And before that happens, before she's in the bus wreck, she's babysitting for a family, and then this guy comes and picks her up, and then takes her into a barn and has sex with her. And it's not explicitly said until later in the movie that's her father. And incest in like whenever they do like incest stuff in a movie, I don't like it.
Yeah.
But that's just a personal thing. But I remember, but discussing the movie afterwards, I brought up the point was like, I didn't know that was her father, not just her boyfriend. There was nothing in the film that portrays that she was not like that. She didn't want to have sex with him.
Yeah.
And then other people are behind me like yelling at me like, well, you can't you don't know what's going on in her head. Like, yeah, but the way it's filmed and presented to the audience is not well done.
Yeah.
You don't know what it's like to be raped? I'm like, no, I don't fucking know what it's like to be raped. But
film is supposed to basically present you with what's on the characters' minds, and unless the point is to not do that.
And if that was the point,
you can do things with angles or just characters' expressions, just a subtle move of the eyes or something to indicate that you didn't want to do that. But there's like a million ways to get that across.
The thing about that class, though, and the reason I brought it up was I wanted to tell this story. We had to write 4 papers in that, and 4 papers, 3 all on. I can't talk. We had to write 4 papers. One being the final, like your thesis.
Yeah.
Thesis. The first one I did was on North by Northwest, an Alfred Hitchcock film.
I love that movie.
I like that movie a lot. It does end very suddenly to me, though. Like, it's big action. It's building up tension. Over. Movie's over. Happy ending.
Yeah.
I studied that movie. I watched it 2 or 3 times, and I wrote what I thought was a really good paper. I got a D.
Oh yeah.
I was like, oh, I'm gonna fail another film class. The second paper, we got to choose different topics. Like the first one was just pick a movie and write about it.
Okay.
Second one was she gave us a list of topics and stuff, and one of the topics was write about how the cinematography in X-Men 2 moved the narrative. And I was like, that's the only movie on this list I want to watch. I'm going to take that one.
Yeah.
And I did that thing where I waited until the night before to watch the movie and write the paper.
Yeah.
I pulled so much of that paper out of my ass, and I got an A on it. Yeah. Like the teacher after the class was like, I enjoyed your paper so much. And and that was how I got the rest of the third paper straight out of my ass, A+ again. And then the final the thesis I did on film noir, because that's one of my favorite film genres. That one I not so much like 50-50 ass and actual research. But I use so many Coen Brother films as references in that.
Oh yeah.
I made references like color schemes and mood. Oh, I wish I still had that paper. I was so proud of that one.
Yeah. I wrote I think it ended up being 8 pages long, an analysis of a scene or rather a sequence in North by Northwest.
Oh really?
That was the UN sequence where he goes to the UN. And I basically said it was basically like an airlock taking Roger Thornhill from this, basically his regular life into this new world. And I was like, and this scene is this part of it, this antechamber and whatnot. And I took it through that because the shot of him leaving is an overhead shot. The camera is way up here and he's way down there, and it's that was a good paper. I was talking about how that's basically he has entered this new world and he is small and alone and being watched. And that was
a long time since I've seen that movie.
That was a good paper. But
that was some good paper.
That was some good paper. No, I also wrote about Apocalypse Now in my master's thesis. I had to watch this. I had to watch the Sandpit scene over and over again.
I haven't seen that whole movie.
It's good.
I went to a friend
good.
of mine's house, and he was watching it, and I saw the last 30 minutes.
Oh.
And that was the longest 3 hours of my life. Like, it's, I didn't like it, though. Maybe it was just because I didn't see it in juxtaposition to the rest of the film.
Don't watch the redo. It's the Apocalypse Now redo.
I don't know which one it was.
It'll say REDUX.
I don't. It was just on TV. He was just watching it on TV, and I was like,
that movie drags. The redo.
That might have been it.
They added some scenes. They added 2 huge scenes that don't do anything, and they just kind of drag on. One of the scenes they added would have been a nice short film, but it kind of ruined the pacing for me. But Apocalypse Now is a great movie, but I watched it over and over again. Over 2015, because that's when I was working on my thesis. It'll be a while.
Year?
Yeah. It'll be a while before I watch it again.
Hey, I know what we should watch next week.
Oh, Apocalypse Now?
Going back to North by Northwest, I think there's like 2 big film goofs in that movie.
Oh, yeah.
There's one where, like, they're in a car chase, and, like, one of the tricks of cinema is, like, to convey movement, like, having everyone, like, shift, and, like, I think this part is it Cary Grant that's in that?
Yeah,
it's Cary Grant. Like, he's like the guy sitting next to him doesn't move, so he's like makes him do it. And there's another part where a guy
exactly what scene you're talking about.
There's another part where somebody's like about to shoot off a gun in a crowded building, and
there's
a little kid who like covers his ears because he knows
before the gunshot happens. Yeah. But that was filmed back in the day where driving a car was this. Oh man,
not my favorite Hitchcock film. Good. I mean, it's good.
It's my favorite Hitchcock film, not because it's the best Hitchcock film, but because I grew up on it. I watched it as a kid.
I will admit, I have not seen a lot of Hitchcock. Like of the ones I've seen, my favorite's probably Strangers on a Train.
I haven't seen that one yet.
Ooh, that's good. It's been a long time since I've seen that.
I like North by Northwest. I like Rear Window.
I haven't seen Rear Window.
Psycho, of course.
Oh yeah, Psycho. Psycho's great. I love the sequels to Psycho more.
Oh really?
They made 3 sequels. Yeah, and then there was like this weird TV movie. It came on the Sci-Fi Channel once before it was Siffy, and I watched it just because I think I'd watched some of the other ones recently, and this comes on, and I could tell that this was not a normal movie because it has like a weird subplot. All right, here, let me just talk about this Psycho movie, TV movie. It doesn't star Norman Bates. Norman Bates is dead at this point. I'm not talking about the actor. I'm talking about the character.
Okay.
The actor was too, though. It actually starred like his roommate in the insane asylum, like, or maybe it was just a friend, but it was someone he knew from his time in the institution.
Okay, that's grasping for. Okay.
Well, apparently, when Norman Bates died, in his will, he left the motel to his friend. So he's been released from the asylum, and he's like, okay, well, I'm gonna get my life back on track by running this motel. And he goes and he fixes it up, and he becomes friends with a girl who I want to say might have been living there, like squatting there, played by Tank Girl, the woman who played Tank Girl.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I can't think of her name.
I can't think of her name either. Lori Petty?
Lori Petty, you're exactly right. So, like, that's one part of the story.
Mm-hmm.
But then, like, this woman comes and rents one of the rooms out, and for the purpose of killing herself. And then, like, the ghosts of other people that have killed themselves, like, come to her and talk her out of it. And it's, like, it's completely separated from the rest of the movie. Like, the other characters don't become involved in this plot at all. And that's where I'm like, is this a TV pilot? And it was. Possible. It was a TV pilot. It was created to be a TV pilot. Because at the very end, like, Norman Bates' friend, he, like, literally talks to the camera. And he's like, so come on. It's like, come on down to the Bates Motel and get your life in order. Like you have an experience or something. Yeah. Like, it was not picked up for a TV. It was not picked up.
Well, you know, a TV show about Psycho and Bates Motel would never work. It would never happen. No one would ever make something.
Yeah, who would have thought?
Oh, man. I just, as speaking of something, I guess we'll continue going off topic. It's something that I found out recently has a bunch of sequels. Kickboxer.
And they're making a new one with Gina Carrero.
There are 5 Kickboxer movies.
They're making a new one with Jean-Claude Van Damme, Gina Carrero, and Batista.
Oh, okay.
That's the guy from Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah,
right? Yeah, Batista. Yeah.
I like Dave Batista. I really do.
I've only seen like the last half of the first Kickboxer film. I didn't know there were 5. I knew there was more than 5.
Oh yeah, I just for some odd reason I got the insane urge to just goof around on Crackle and just start seeing what they have because I hadn't been on there in a while. And I was like, it's all Kickboxer.
Is Crackle still free? Mm-hmm. Okay, cool.
Obnoxious commercials, but yeah. So yeah, there's Kickboxer 2. Okay, Kickboxer 3. 4,
I'm sure
5. What?
I'm sure at least 4 and 5 were direct to video.
Oh, I'm sure everything after 2 was direct to video.
No, I bet 3. I bet 3 was still theaters. 3 is probably like.
I haven't seen them. At one point, you stopped seeing Jean-Claude Van Damme. Well, no, I'd watch a Kickboxer movie with Gina Carano and Dave Bautista. That'd be awesome.
Yes, please.
Yeah, I'm down for that. Speaking of Gina Carano, watch Haywire. It's good.
We're back on Haywire again.
Right? Why would we talk about Haywire in this video? Nothing to do with anything. So out of left field.
Well, I think we've off topic enough.
Oh yeah, we have spun the wheel many times.
So I think what we should take away from this,
is that
the audience, is that you should watch Drive.
Definitely watch Drive. Always watch Drive.
And I suck at film classes. Oh man. Well, until next time, I never know what we're gonna watch until the next time. And I kind of want to like be able to set that up because I want some sort of order in my life. Fuck it.
We can do Batman, or I still haven't seen Deadpool yet. We could do Deadpool.
I would suggest a double feature, but the Dark Knight is so freaking long.
The Dark Knight is a double feature. There's practically 2 movies in there.
The thing is, like, neither one of us wants to watch it, but for completely different reasons.
Yeah.
I don't want to watch it because I don't like it. But I know that you and me arguing about it would make for great YouTube. At least I think it would be. And you don't want to argue.
I don't.
Not like, you may have to bring in a ringer. And you may have to like tag out and bring someone else in to talk about the movie.
Yeah, I will choose somebody to fight for me.
But I would love to watch that and then watch Deadpool just to get the taste out of my mouth.
I'll tell you a movie I'd like to watch again, and I only saw once. Superman Returns.
I like Superman Returns.
Yeah.
It is not the best. It's one of the best, I would say. Which is kind of sad because it's not that good. I hate to say it.
I remember liking it.
I like it. I like the movie a lot.
Yeah.
it's a good Superman film. It looks like a Superman film. It acts like a Superman film. And I'm not just saying that because it's basically a sequel to the George Reeves Superman.
Yeah.
Christopher Reeves. George.
There was a George Reeves, but I don't think he was Superman.
He was the original Superman.
Oh, was
the
it?
TV show.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Richard Donner, that's the name I'm trying to think of. I'm trying to think of the name of the director.
He did like a movie. Richard Donner was.
Off topic again. Christopher Reeves was Superman in the old movies.
Yeah.
George Reeves was the Superman in the old TV show.
Okay.
Ben Affleck played George Reeves as Superman in a movie a few years ago.
Well, can you connect this all back to Kevin Bacon?
I'm sure there's a way, but what the point I'm getting at is that Ben Affleck has played both Superman and Batman.
Yep. That's cool.
And Daredevil. Like, he is slowly creeping up on Chris Evans as playing the most comic book characters.
Yeah. Tell you what, that Daredevil movie, we may have to do a video on it. I like Bullseye, but I don't know if he's legit to the comics.
I've
but
heard the director's cut is better.
That's what I've heard, but I don't want to watch that. I've heard it.
Well, there's a lot of these movies we don't want to watch,
That's true.
but they can't all be Drive.
I didn't bring it up that.
They can't all be Haywire and Drive.
They should be though, because Haywire's good.
Look, I'll admit, after Gentlemen Broncos, you deserve a couple good movies. You got one.
Yes.
You get one more before I pull another piece of shit out of the library. And I want to remind you, you picked Garbage Pail Kids.
I still maintain that you own Garbage Pail Kids.
But I didn't make us watch it.
I didn't purchase it.
It was $5 at Walmart. Give me a break. I was curious.
Well, shoot, if I get one more good movie, it's probably going to be Secret of NIMH.
Which I own but haven't seen.
Yeah.
So that would be a good one.
Yeah. Secret of NIMH's good.
All
It's
right.
a wonderful movie.
That's kind of when you pick John Wick,
though. Okay, sure. Damn. Hell yeah.
All right, I'll tell you what. We do John Wick next.
Okay.
Then we do Secret of NIMH.
I'm okay with that. I like
And
John
then
Wick.
I get to make you hurt again.
Okay.
All right, on that note, guys, good night.